So you might have heard about the crystal nucleus at one point, but you may not exactly know how to do it. And honestly, I don't blame you. It can be pretty confusing to begin with, but hopefully this video will give you a good enough guide on completing the quest so you don't have any hassle. So without further ado, let's get on with it. The crystal nucleus is the location in the middle of the crystal hollows, which serves as a bridge to every other location in the area. There's not much else to it aside from a drill mechanic and an emissary, but you might have noticed that there are 5 statues there, each themed off of a gemstone in the game. These statues are actually tied to a quest line that you can do to gain some massive loot in the crystal hollows. But before we talk about that, I just wanted to thank you guys once again for the massive support the channel's gotten. We recently just hit 200 subscribers, and we're actually heading closer to 300 at the time of making this video, so I just can't thank you guys enough for the kindness you've given me, and it just really means a ton to me. I read all the comments, and I'm so flattered. Also, unrelated, but I've also started a Twitch channel, and I'll be streaming on that sometimes if you want to watch me go play Risk of Rain or Terraria or something like that with some of my friends. I'll usually be streaming sometimes on the weekends or whenever I have free time, so I hope to see you guys there, and the link will be in the description. Thank you. So essentially, the Crystal Hollows is home to 5 giant crystals, and these are different from the average gemstones you kind of find around. These ones are really huge, and there's one for each area, and they spawn in the respective area that their gemstone is located in. And basically the gist of the questline is to travel around the areas, and you get these crystals, and then you bring it back to the crystal nucleus for some rewards. The crystal nucleus is always located in the middle of the map at x equals 512, z equals 512, and y equals 106, and the structures you need to locate are randomly generated within the respective areas, so you kind of have to locate it each time you head to a different lobby. And before I go any further, I highly recommend you get a mod that has a Crystal Hollows map included, because it helps massively with exploring and keeping track of all the coordinates in order. I personally use SkyTools, but Skyblock Personalized and Skyblock Extras also have map features that you can use as well. I also use Not Enough Updates for the UI that has Crystal Hollows commissions and some Crystal Nucleus quest specific stuff, and it's overall just a really good mod to have even outside of the Crystal Hollows too, so I highly recommend that if your computer can handle it. So here's how you actually get the crystals. So to start off with the Amethyst crystal, you need to locate the jungle temple in the jungle area. Once you're there, you need to head to the entrance and give the tribe members guarding the door a jungle key. You can find these keys by finding a structure that kinda looks like this, and need to kill the 1 million HP key guardian, who will drop 1 or 2 keys. Once you hand the key to the tribe members, the door opens and you have to complete a parkour challenge to get the crystal. The parkour is relatively easy, and the only thing that's really a threat to you are the traps. Do note that if you do end up falling in the lava below, it'll teleport you out of the temple area, and you have to spend another key to get back in. You can actually completely ignore the traps if you use a Wither Cloak Sword ability, because it creates a shield around you that blocks the incoming arrows, so that's a pretty cool feature. But after you've completed the parkour, the Amethyst crystal will appear, and you'll have successfully obtained one of the 5 crystals. For the Sapphire crystal, you're going to need to find the Lost Precursor City, and you can find this in the Precursor Remnants. An NPC will be waiting for you next to the giant robot, and he'll ask you for 6 different parts. You can get these parts by looking in treasure chests in the Precursor Remnants, and you can also get these by killing automaton golems near the city. This one's really annoying to grind for because you just get duplicate parts often, so I honestly recommend just buying the parts that you need off the auction house. It will be a little bit expensive though. Once you have all the parts, bring them to the professor and the door will open for you to claim the Sapphire crystal. The Jade crystal can be found in the mines of Devon in the Mytho deposit. The dwarves there want you to find the weapons that they lost in the mines, and they'll hand you a metal detector that you can use to find them in the gold pile below. You have to find all 4 lost weapons and then bring them back to the dwarves, who will then give you the Jade crystal. Yet it still amazes me how they can use the cosmic powers of the universe to somehow lose their weapons every time you come back. But hey, I get a crystal out of it, so I'm not complaining. The Amber crystal can be found in the Goblin Queen's den, but when you arrive there, the guards blocking the crystal won't let you pass. You need to locate a second NPC known as the Goblin King, and he can be found using the Wishing Compass after you've located the Goblin Queen's den. Once you arrive there, he's going to ask you for 3 goblin eggs of any type. You can buy these off the auction house for very cheap, but if you can't buy them, then searching inside the chests in the goblin holdout or killing goblins is another method of getting this. Once you hand him the eggs, he'll give you a unique buff that lets you bypass the guards and pull the absolute devious of licks on the Goblin Queen. Just make sure you don't fall in water because the buff will completely dissipate if you do that. And last but not least, we have the Topaz crystal. This can be found in the Khazad-dûm? The Khazad... It's the ball arena, guys. Alright, so you can find it in the ball arena, and this can be found using a wishing compass in the magma fields. This is by far the hardest location to find because it can literally be in any of the locations, but it's just underground. So I highly recommend investing in a few wishing compasses if you want to locate the area. Once you arrive there, a magma cube boss will start to appear in the middle of the area, but if it isn't actually fully grown, you can literally just stroll up and take the crystal before he even spawns, which will save you loads of time. But if the boss is already fully grown, you're going to have to fight it. If the arena is below Y level 65, you're also going to need a way to reduce or negate the effects of heat in the magma fields. This is possible using the Flamebreaker and Yogg armor, or by using a Battle Pet. Drinking water or potions also removes 40% of the heat, so you don't really need any additional gear if you have something stocked up to drink. The battle boss is unlike most other bosses in the game, in the sense that its health isn't actually a health bar, but is actually based off the amount of hits the bosses takes. Items like the Venom's Touch, the Runen's Bow, or anything that fires multiple of one thing are exceptional for taking out the boss. And for fighting it, you just kind of shoot the boss until it dies, and then afterwards, you can claim the crystal like normal. As a side note, the boss also has a chance to drop an epic or legendary battle pet, so if you want to go for it then you can, but it's a bit rare, but it's also worth quite a bit of money. After collecting the 5th crystal, go back to the crystal nucleus and right click on the statues. After you place down all the crystals, a bundle of loot will appear in the area next to the drill mechanic. The loot bundle usually doesn't have a whole lot, but you can occasionally get some pretty good drops like the Jade Roll or Quick Claw, and if you're extremely lucky, a Devon's Alloy. I'll display the loot pool on screen right now so you can kind of get an idea of what you could end up getting. Also, each run has a guaranteed chance to give you 1 fine gemstone of each type and 800 Heart of the Mountain experience, which isn't a ton, but it's kind of a nice free bonus for the trouble. Also, you don't need to follow the specific order that I did, and you don't need to be in the same lobby for each run. So you can grab an Amethyst or Sapphire crystal in one lobby, and swap lobbies, and you can still continue on the quest line without losing your crystals. And they also don't expire, so you can keep them for like a week, you can keep it for a month, and you're still going to have those 2 crystals unless you place them down and you claim the loot bundle. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about the crystal nucleus. If you found this video helpful at all or enjoyed it, then it would mean the world to me if you'd like the video or even subscribed. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.